Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video we're going to be talking about all the players that you guys need to keep an eye on for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Week 13 matchup versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. So guys, without further ado, let's talk about it. First guy I need to talk about on this list is running back Ronald Jones. Will this finally be his big breakout game? I know all of us have seen it in the reactions, the live stream reactions to the game and whatnot. We've seen it from week to week to week. Ronald Jones is so close to breaking off, a big 60, 70-yard touchdown run. He is so freaking close to doing it, but things have just been hampering him, be it, a shoestring tackle or a bad penalty from the offensive line. You name it, that obstacle has been there for Ronald Jones, but I think that this is probably the most perfect opportunity that he's going to get this year to have his big stamp impact kind of game and kind of say, hey, Ronald Jones is here, let's freaking go. And this game is against the Jacksonville Jaguars, considering their run defense is one of the worst run defenses in the NFL in every single statistical category. You name it, the Jacksonville Jaguars cannot defend it in terms of the run game. So this is the game for Ronald Jones. It really is. So, keep an eye on Ronald Jones, see how he does. You would imagine the Buccaneers are going to be running the ball a lot in this game. Hopefully, I will talk about that later on in the preview video, but yeah, keep an eye on Ronald Jones. See how he does in this game. Will he finally get that big breakout run where he showcases just the ungodly speed that he has? We're just going to have to wait and see. Did you guys know that Jamel Dean is 7th in pass deflections in the NFL? Did you guys also know that Carlton Davis is 11th in the NFL in pass deflections right now? These two guys are in the top 15 of all cornerbacks in the NFL in pass deflections. Jamel Dean and Carlton Davis are the next two guys that I want to talk about that you guys should keep an eye on in this upcoming game versus the Jaguars. I mean, geez, what a story for these two guys, okay? Now, you guys know how much I love Carlton Davis, hashtag cornerback number one, but, combining him and Jamel Dean has just seemed to be working more and more as the weeks have gone on. Both those guys are from Auburn. That's freaking awesome in my opinion. So hey, shout out to the Auburn boys. They're doing some good stuff for the Buccaneers, and it seems like every week they just get better and better as time goes on. Carlton Davis had the big interception last week versus the Falcons. Jamel Dean was a hero versus the Arizona Cardinals, and these guys I think are the future number 1 and number 2 cornerbacks for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the next 3+ years, in my opinion. So yeah, really excited about these two guys. They are going to be playing Nick Foles, who has been pretty up and down this year. He did have an injury, but since he's come back from that injury, he hasn't looked the best. So yeah, all of the momentum, or whatever you want to call it, is in the favor right now of Jamel Dean and Carlton Davis. They're playing great, and it seems like they just get better and better as time goes on. So yeah, pay attention to these two guys. Let's see how they do versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Next guy I want to talk about, Jameis Winston. Can we talk about Jameis Winston for a minute, guys? Is time running out for Jameis Winston? And let me talk about what I mean when I say that. Bruce Arians has said multiple times this year that he is only evaluating this year of Jameis Winston. That is all he is evaluating. And I think it's safe to say that so far this year, it has certainly been a roller coaster with Jameis Winston, as it has been for most years, but this year especially, it just seems like, Jameis Winston has had his highest points, and man, has he had his lowest points. Not just with the interceptions, because I know everybody wants to point to the interceptions, but fumbles too, and mental errors and things along those lines. It just seems like that things have really been up and down for Jameis Winston this year. And hey, you know what? I will say it again. I can't say it enough times because, I really can't. Not every turnover that Jameis Winston has had this year has been his fault. I cannot stress that enough, guys. But I would also like to say that there have been a fair share of turnovers that have been Jameis Winston's fault this year, and I don't think that that is a crazy statement to make, guys. I really don't. So, yeah, there has been some good moments from Jameis Winston, and man, there has been some bad moments from Jameis Winston. So, you know, it's just trying to figure that out, and it certainly makes things a lot harder to evaluate from us as fans, so I can only imagine how much tougher it is for the Buccaneers coaching staff and front office as well. And Jameis Winston only has maybe 5 games, 6 games left to really prove himself and say, hey, you know, I can be your long-term future guy. So, yeah, keep an eye on Jameis Winston. I'm probably going to mention him at some point throughout the remainder of these players to watch videos until the season ends. So, yeah, just keep an eye on Jameis Winston. Let's see how he finishes out the year. And, yeah, let's just hope he tones down the mistakes, I guess I should say, and we finally get to see some, long-term improvement and some solidarity with the quarterback position moving forward for the remainder of the Buccaneers season. Second to last guy I want to talk about is Shaq Barrett. You guys know how much I love Shaq Barrett. I cannot say enough how much I love Shaq Barrett. Every week I'm going to say how much I love Shaq Barrett. The reason I want to mention him this week, and there's always a laundry list of reasons, but he played really, really, really good versus the Atlanta Falcons against Jake Matthews, who is, a very decent left tackle in the NFL. Shaq Barrett did a lot of, great things to get past him and really put on a lot of pressure against Matt Ryan. He had, I believe, 5 quarterback hits, 1 forced fumble, and 1 sack. So can he continue that versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, whose offensive line isn't bad, by the way? They're probably a top 15 offensive line right now. They are, nothing to, overlook under any circumstances. But Shaq Barrett, he's at 12.5 sacks right now. He currently leads the NFL in sacks. Still, he's an absolute beast. Shout out to you, Shaq Barrett. But the point I want to make here is that he is only 4 sacks away from tying Warren Sapp's franchise record of 16.5 sacks in a season. Will he beat it? Well, he has 5 games left to beat it. In my opinion, I think he will. But I'm also, just like Jameis Winston, I'm going to keep on mentioning Shaq Barrett because he has been such an impactful and important player to the Buccaneers this season. So yeah, just keep on an eye on Shaq Barrett and let's see how he finishes out the remainder of this year. Guy I want to talk about is Matt Gay. Matt Gay missed 3 extra points last week versus the Atlanta Falcons. 2 of them he missed literally the same exact way, and then the last one was blocked. So, yeah, what's going on with Matt Gay? Do we have to be worried? Should we be worried? What's going on? Me personally, I'm not worried about the Matt Gay situation. I think he will be fine. He did make his field goal, and he did finish the game pretty strong overall, and that's pretty much been the only hiccup we've seen from Matt Gay's play since all the way back in Week 3 versus the New York Giants. So, yeah, I'm not really worried about him stumbling a little bit versus the Atlanta Falcons. The Buccaneers still played a really, really awesome game overall, so it didn't necessarily, equate to much. So, yeah, very happy with Matt Gay so far this year. I think that he has been the strongest option that we have had at the kicking position for multiple years. So, yeah, really happy with how Matt Gay has been doing this year. Not too worried about him having a minor hiccup of a game versus the Falcons. I think he will come back strong versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. But guys, that's it for all the players I have listed that you guys should keep an eye on versus the Jacksonville Jaguars in Week 13. Did I miss any players? If so, hey, let me know down in the comments section below. That would be greatly appreciated. Hope you guys like the clipboard. This will probably be an addition for, future videos. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. But, yeah, guys, again, thank you so much for the support you've been giving on the videos. I know the season hasn't gone the way we've wanted this year, but I definitely appreciate all the discussion we've had, all the likes, all the comments, and all the new subscribers that I've gotten so far this year, and all the old ones that have stayed along for the ride as well for this season. All of it is greatly appreciated. But guys, that's it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.